In a world where change is the only constant, leaders must be able to imagine new possibilities, challenge the status quo, and inspire their teams to do the same. So, creative thinking isn't just a nice to have, it's a leadership superpower. One of the core values of Schneider Electric is curiosity, and we believe that it's the source of innovation. That's where HR plays a pivotal role. We foster a culture of psychological safety where people feel confident speaking up, experimenting, and even failing without fear. Programs like our innovation challenges and hackathons give teams the space to think boldly and act bravely. And, and often it's not just about big ideas. Sometimes creativity is about finding a smarter way to solve daily challenges. When HR championed openness, diversity of thought, creativity becomes part of everyday culture.
Creativity is a very critical skill. At the end of the day, multiple challenges and issues and problems are coming to organizations from various sides. Those could be in the kind of products we create, those could be in the kind of processes we have. And creativity is what really fuels innovation. So it's a very critical skill as per me. I think one of the most important things in creating this entire environment of innovation and creativity is for people to have psychological safety. People need to know that they have the ability to speak up whatever is in their mind, even if it's a half baked idea, even if it's a thought which is very different from the way the company is working. Until and unless employees have psychological safety, they won't speak up. So, an environment where people feel safe, they feel secure, more ideas will come. And it doesn't matter which hierarchy or which level of the organization you're sitting in. Organizations need to create a culture where opportunities are created for people across levels and across hierarchies to come up with the most brilliant ideas. So, initiatives like hackathons, initiatives like, maybe a creativity day would spark interest, would spark curiosity, and employees would be very happy to give new ideas. The other thing which is very important for creativity to flourish is for leaders to have intellectual slack. When leaders have the time to sit down with their teams, debate out ideas, think through, reflect, is when a lot of new ideas and a lot of new thoughts would come. And then creating an environment where people are able to flesh that out will further fuel creativity. Last but not the least, I think organizations and HR need to create diverse opinions. So creating diversity, whether it's of gender, sexual orientation, background, the kind of people we get on board is very important. The more diverse the opinions, the better is the creativity in an organization.
We live in a world which is extremely volatile and uncertain, and there is massive information overload. So, for leaders to actually stay in course and deliver the desired outcomes, they have to create an environment which is a culmination of creativity blended with data, but a very strong purpose. And for HR teams, for HR organization, and leaders alike, this really means building a culture which is foundational upon 3 E's: empower, enable, and experiment. What that really means is that we need to not just think about a soft culture, but create the necessary ecosystem around the culture to drive experimentation, be it be in the form of hackathon, ideathons, or contest. Create a bit of fail-safe environment wherein people can do experimentation beyond the regular course of work. They're not afraid of failing, but at the same time they're also encouraged to find out solutions quickly through multiple round of iteration. And finally, um, you know, create a reward ecosystem which also rewards creativity through formal KPIs, formal and informal recognition.
And that's an interesting perspective. If I had to pick one, I'd say communication is the unsung hero. As corporates, we often talk about innovation and agility. But without clear, empathetic, and inclusive communication, even the best ideas can get lost in translation. At Schneider Electric India, we have seen how communication acts as the bridge between creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. It's the glue that holds everything together. In a multicultural, multilingual environment like ours, communication isn't just about speaking, it's about listening, storytelling, and creating shared understanding. Our leaders engage in open forums, regular connects, and transparent dialogue, which not only boosts engagement but also builds trust. So, yes, communication might not always be the spotlight, but it's what makes the other C's truly come alive.
So, as per me, creativity, collaboration, communication, as well as critical thinking are all important aspects and competencies which leadership must display or an organization culture should have. But I think the most underrated is collaboration. It's very important for teams to understand that they cannot work in silos. And all minds working together will always create better solutions than only one function or one department working on it. This requires empathy. This requires active listening. This requires people without prejudice to be sitting together and thrashing out ideas. When people across functions, across departments, across companies collaborate, a very different set of ideas and opinions come together on the table, and the best solution is generated. And there are multiple tools which HR can deploy to improve collaboration. These could be just cross-functional meetings. This could be shared goals. And the more cross collaboration that exists, the higher the creativity there will be in an organization.
I think critical thinking is one area which got ignored a little bit with so much of informations all around us. Today, employees have access to a lot of refined information through chat GPTs of the world. They have access to their managers, they have access to their mentors, they have access to internet, and that makes it the advent of so many tools is making it easier for them to quickly get to an answer of a problem. In the context of an organization, however, what is really powerful is what is going to really work out of multiple options that you found as a solution. So therefore, critical thinking is the solution to finding out the fit for purpose solutions. And for cultures to promote that sort of a critical thinking as a mindset, one has to really have certain thinking mechanism embedded in every team wherein people challenge each other, people debate on ideas without feeling unsafe about what their views or how their views would be, or taken. There should not be any fear of retribution for challenging ideas coming from people who are seemingly on at higher ranks compared to where you are. And the concept of leadership challenge, right, is very important, especially leader knowing what to ask, when to ask, and how to challenge, right? Consider it as a culture wherein you have a bit of black cat commandos. I would rather change cat to hat, wherein you're promoting a little bit of black hat thinking to make sure your decisions are becoming extremely sharp and focused.
Programs like Gurukul, Skill Up, Urja, Tejas, Path to Mastery, etc. combine formal learning with mentoring, real-life problem solving, and peer collaboration. It's about learning by doing, reflecting, and growing together. And I believe that is what is preparing our leaders to thrive in complexity, drive innovation, and lead with purpose.
Creativity, communication, critical thinking, and collaboration are all skills which can be developed. I don't think there is a standard learning and development program which could be curated for this, but there are certain mechanisms. For example, mentoring. I've seen reverse mentoring work amazingly. The Gen Zs are coming in, they're technologically very savvy, and combining Gen Zs with some of the millennial population, reverse mentoring is an excellent way. People who demonstrate innovation, creativity in the way they think could become role models, and organizations could then help them lead a bunch of people into thinking more creatively. Design thinking workshops could be curated and run for the organization where people have the time to sit back, reflect. It gives a framework. It gives an opportunity to see how their thoughts could be curated or designed in a far more effective manner. Hackathons are a great way, getting a bunch of people together, running idea workshops where people can sit together and generate more ideas is another example. Last but not the least, I think just encouraging leaders to visit people, visit factories, visit organizations, maybe from different fields, because oftentimes disruption in a particular industry is done by people who are, from outside the industry. So little bit more on outside in thinking, encouraging your people, sending them on field trips will also help people think out of the box, think differently, and generate curiosity and creativity in the organization.